There comes a moment in every life when the glitter of success begins to dim, when the loud applause of achievement feels strangely hollow, and a quiet voice within begins to whisper, "Is this all there is?" The balance between riches and happiness begins exactly at this crossroads, guiding us to explore the delicate equilibrium between outer prosperity and inner peace. It is not a book about rejecting wealth, but about redefining it, teaching us that abundance loses its meaning when the soul feels poor, and that happiness, without direction or purpose, can drift into complacency. At its heart, the book tells the story of Daniel, a brilliant entrepreneur whose life was a testament to ambition. He rose from humble beginnings, driven by the fire to succeed, to prove his worth to a world that once ignored him. His empire grew, his name carried weight, and the numbers in his bank account seemed infinite. Yet, beneath the surface, he felt an emptiness no luxury could fill. Success had given him everything except himself. The story takes us through his quiet unraveling, sleepless nights, failed relationships, and the haunting question, why am I not happy when I have it all? It was during a retreat in the mountains, far from the chaos of his daily grind, that Daniel met an old monk named Aaron. Their conversations, simple yet profound, become the spiritual backbone of the book. Aaron did not teach Daniel how to earn more, but how to be more aware, more grateful, more alive. Through their dialogues, we come to see that wealth and happiness are not rivals, they are two wings of the same bird. But they must be balanced, one cannot soar without the other. One of the monk's first teachings is that happiness cannot be chased, it must be invited. He explains that many people treat happiness like a reward, something that comes after they achieve or acquire. Yet, true happiness is not a consequence of success, it is the foundation of it. When a person works from peace rather than toward peace, everything they touch gains a different energy. Success becomes meaningful because it arises from joy, not desperation. The book reminds us of countless real-world parallels: artists who lose their passion after fame, executives who burn out despite wealth, and families torn apart by ambition. These are not failures of talent or opportunity, they are failures of alignment. The heart wants meaning, while the ego wants validation. When the two are in conflict, we may win the world but lose ourselves. Daniel learns that the richest life is not measured in possessions, but in presence, in being fully alive to the moment. Aaron teaches him to reconnect with simple joys, watching the sunrise, feeling the breath, listening without judgment. These are not escapes from the world but doorways into it. Slowly, Daniel realizes that peace is not the absence of ambition, it is the purification of it. You can still dream, build, and achieve, but from a place of wholeness rather than lack. Another central insight of the book is the principle of inner balance. Every human being has two drives: the drive to expand, to achieve, create, accumulate, and the drive to experience, to feel, connect, appreciate. Riches correspond to expansion, happiness corresponds to experience. The problem arises when expansion is pursued without experience, when we keep achieving but forget to feel what we've achieved. True balance, the book explains, is when your external growth is matched by your internal fulfillment. Aaron gives Daniel a powerful metaphor: your life is a garden. Wealth is the sunlight, it helps things grow. But happiness is the water, without it, nothing stays alive. The goal, he says, is not to choose one over the other, but to nurture both. Too much sunlight burns the roots, too much water drowns them. Balance is not a destination, it's a daily act of awareness. Through Daniel's transformation, readers are guided to reflect on their own. We are asked, what are we really working for? Is it the house, the title, the applause, or the feeling those things promise to give us? The truth, the book reveals, is that the feeling can be cultivated now, without waiting for the outcome. Gratitude, kindness, mindfulness, these are the currencies of real wealth, and they cost nothing. As Daniel integrates these lessons, he returns to his business world with a new perspective. He still builds, still leads, but with gentler hands. His focus shifts from, how much can I take? To, how much can I contribute? Ironically, his company thrives even more, not because he pushes harder, but because he leads with authenticity and empathy. People are drawn to his calm energy, they feel safe, valued, and inspired. Success, once a burden, becomes an expression of joy. One of the book's most beautiful reflections is that happiness deepens when it is shared. Wealth can isolate, but joy connects. Daniel begins to invest not just in ventures, but in people, supporting education programs, mentoring young dreamers, and helping others rise. The act of giving becomes his truest form of receiving. In giving happiness, he finds his own multiplied. There's a poignant chapter where Aaron reminds Daniel, that contentment is not the end of ambition, it is its purification. When you are content, you no longer chase goals to fill emptiness, you pursue them to express your essence. The purpose of life is not to have everything, but to become everything you truly are. Happiness is not a reward, it is a state of being that allows your potential to bloom naturally. The narrative weaves practical exercises throughout, moments of silence, gratitude journaling, mindful observation, tools that help bridge spiritual insight with daily life. For instance, Aaron tells Daniel to start each morning by naming 3 blessings before touching his phone. Within weeks, his anxiety fades. He learns that happiness grows where attention goes. The more we notice life's gifts, the more life gives. In its final chapters, the book moves from story to reflection, offering wisdom that feels timeless. It says, if wealth builds your outer world, happiness builds your inner world. To be complete, you must honor both. A person who neglects riches may live with regret, a person who neglects happiness will live with emptiness. But when the two dance together, life becomes a masterpiece, productive yet peaceful, ambitious yet kind, full yet light. The ultimate message of the balance between riches and happiness is that the true measure of success is how peacefully you can live while being fully engaged in the world. Money, when earned with integrity and used with compassion, becomes a tool of liberation. Happiness, when grounded in awareness, becomes the music that keeps the heart alive. Together, they create a harmony that no amount of material success alone could ever achieve. The book closes with Daniel sitting once again on the mountain, years later, not as a man seeking answers, but as one living them. His fortune has grown, yet it is no longer what defines him. He feels rich not because of what he owns, but because of what he understands. He has discovered that the greatest luxury in life is peace of mind. His wealth flows from that peace, not the other way around. As readers, we are left with a sense of calm clarity. The journey between riches and happiness is not about choosing one, but aligning both. It is about remembering that success without joy is poverty, and joy without purpose is idleness. The true art of living lies in balance, in knowing when to strive and when to surrender, when to earn and when to simply be. In the end, the balance between riches and happiness invites us to redefine abundance, not as having more, but as needing less, not as climbing higher, but as feeling deeper. It reminds us that happiness is not found at the summit of achievement but along the quiet path of awareness. When you learn to live from the inside out, every gain becomes graceful, every loss becomes wisdom, and every day becomes enough.